Sarah Ferguson was thrown under a bus to protect other more high-profile royals. The celebrity lawyer who represented the Duchess of York in a legal case has said she has had very little support and protection from the royal family. Paul Tweed represented Sarah Ferguson when she took on the publisher of the now-defunct News of the World over a sting by the infamous Fake Sheikh. Writing in his new book, he said the claim in which she sought £25 million in damages had been resolved out of court, but said both Sarah and I were very satisfied with the outcome. Tweed goes on, Sarah may have been the author of some of her own controversies back in the day, but I could not help but get the feeling that she was often thrown under a bus to distract from the travails of other royals. Hello viewers, please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. I have frequently told her that she must have been the subject of more vitriolic headlines and brutal press coverage than any other woman in the world. In his book, From Hollywood to Holywood, My Life as an International Libel Lawyer for the Rich and Famous, Tweed describes Ferguson as very stoical and questions why she doesn't get credit for all the charity work she does. He points out that she founded Children in Crisis in 1993, which has educated 1.4 million children, was the founder patron of Street Child and then stepped down to set up the non-profit Sarah's Trust, which supported 150,000 NHS staff during the COVID pandemic. He adds, the similarities between the Duchess and her late friend Princess Diana are striking. They both had difficult upbringings. They were both thrown at a young age into the global spotlight. They both tried to please others, often at the expense of their own interests, and their respective marriages ended in divorce. However, he says that her settlement from Andrew was extremely modest in comparison to Diana's, and as a result she was forced to go out and try to survive in an unfamiliar corporate world. Tweed admits she may have shown a lack of judgment in some of her associations, but says she was easy prey, having received little or no protection after stepping outside the family fold. One example was the News of the World story in 2010, in which Tweed says she had been misled and manipulated into giving the impression that she was offering access to her husband, Prince Andrew, in exchange for a cash payment. Sarah Ferguson at breaking point with Andrew as loved ones grow tired of "Cling It, Prince." Prince Andrew might have won the much-hyped battle for Royal Lodge against his brother King Charles. But it appears all is not rosy in the Duke of York's garden as close family members and allies become increasingly fed up with his "cling it" behavior. And ex-wife Sarah Ferguson has reached breaking point, according to reports. While Andrew 64 and Fergie divorced in 1996, they have remained close with the Duchess staying in Royal Lodge. There were even rumors the pair would remarry in the coming years. But that looks unlikely with Sarah, 65, becoming fed up with Andrew's dependence on her. The Duchess, who has a blossoming broadcast career, also faces her own struggles and is currently battling cancer for a second time. Andrew's daughter Princesses Beatrice, 36, and Eugenie, 34, are also struggling to navigate his PR disasters. An insider told In Touch Weekly that while Sarah and the girls are sympathetic to a point, they also have their own lives to manage. They added, Andrew is like a lost puppy these days, constantly leaning on Sarah and their daughters for emotional support. He's become increasingly clingy, reaching out to them every chance he gets, almost as if they're his only lifeline. Their relationship is starting to look poorly on Sarah. She fears as Andrew remains the black sheep of the royal family. The insider added, she bears the brunt of it. He unloads every frustration on her and constantly asks for advice, and even requests her help in connecting him with people who could assist him with his business pursuits. That is despite Sarah facing her own ongoing health issues and an already packed schedule. They added, Yet Andrew doesn't seem aware of the toll his constant needs are taking on her. He's too wrapped up in himself to think of anyone else. Andrew has been a pariah since details of his friendship with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein were made public. He was stripped of his royal titles and has struggled to regain the trust of the firm, although he scored a PR victory over Charles, 76, when he stood firm as the king tried to force him to give UPO his Royal Lodge mansion on the Windsor estate. Sarah Ferguson reveals personal mission before Princess Beatrice's baby is born. Princess Beatrice and Sarah Ferguson at the 10th Annual Lady Garden Foundation Langan's Ladies' Lunch fundraising for the Royal Marston Cancer Charity on October 15, 2024 in London. Sarah Ferguson is championing a new environmental cause before Princess Beatrice's baby is born and she becomes a grandmother again. On November 11th, the Duchess of York, who is popularly known as Fergie, announced a new mission to eliminate plastic diapers through a new initiative called The Greater Good. The Duchess of York, 65, highlighted her commitment to the cause from her perspective as a grandmother with her family about to grow once again. Fergie's eldest daughter, Princess Beatrice, is expecting her second child with husband Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi, and Buckingham Palace has announced the baby is due in early spring 2025. In a few months, I'm going to become a grandmother for the 5th time. August, Ernest, Sienna, and Wolfie will be joined by another beautiful boy or girl. As our family grows once more, the Duchess of York wrote in an op-ed for the Daily Mail, naming her grandchildren. Fergie is a grandmother to Princess Beatrice and Edo's daughter Sienna, 3, and Edo's 8-year-old son Christopher Wolfe, who is affectionately nicknamed Wolfie, from a previous relationship. The Duchess of York is also a grandmother to her younger daughter Princess Eugenie and her husband Jack Brooksbank's 2 sons, August, 3, and Ernest, 1. As all grandmothers know, from storytime, to tea time, to nap time, family life is a hands-on affair, not least when it comes to changing nappies, she continued, using British parlance for diapers. Over the course of my life, I've been no stranger to it. When my first grandchild was born, I rolled up my sleeves as though a 30-year hiatus had never happened. Seeing nappy after nappy thrown into the bin, I began to wonder, what are these nappies made of and where are they going? Researching it, I was stunned. They are full of plastic waste, each one damaging our environment, Fergie wrote. The Duchess of York, who shares her daughters with her ex-husband, Prince Andrew, cited statistics about diapers' role in the global plastic waste crisis. Acknowledging how times have changed and greater awareness has been raised since Beatrice, 36, and Eugenie, 34, were born. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.